Hey everyone, and welcome back. So have a couple of interesting things to talk about today. Now, I don't want to say these are rumored because I think most of these have sort of officially been like confirmed and announced and stuff, but not like full on officially as far as like here's the big announcement and here's all the details and everything. But there's a lot of good stuff coming. Now, a couple things we did know was in the works, but now at least with a couple of details were just like, I think it's coming, I think it's not coming, but yes. So, you know what? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Let me get right into it. So before I get to some of the other stuff, I do want to mention real quick, because I love this film. Coming in August, don't have a specific date just yet, is a 4K release of the movie Better Off Dead, the comedy from 1985? 85? I think it was 85. And then it's coming from Paramount. Absolutely, I love that film so much, so I'm definitely excited to pick that up in 4K. Again, no details just yet, just slated for August, but I think the pre-order just went up on Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, yes, it is. I just checked, and it's up for pre-order right now on Amazon, currently for $24.49. And Amazon is saying Tuesday, August 5th. In fact, right here, right now, I'm locking in my pre-order. Blah, 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 da, da, da. And order place, thanks. It's kind of scary how quickly you can order certain things. Oh boy. Anyway, all right. So yeah, so I'm excited for that. Again, that it looks like August 5th. Now, next up, now we get into some more of the fun stuff. Let's see, which one do I want to do first? Let's do, do I want to jump around? No, I'll just do this in the order I have it listed here. So next up, let's see, from Grindhouse releasing, as some of you know, they just came out with their 4K release of The Beyond. Well, there was the release that was on their website, and then we have the sort of retail version, which is coming out pretty soon. A really fantastic release. Highly recommend it. I was going to do a review, but I'm kind of still making my way through some of these supplements and stuff. Anyway, so that was their most current release. Next, now we knew this was coming. Still don't have details, but we're obviously getting closer because they did post, they did a teaser image from Cannibal Holocaust. Now we do know that they obviously are doing a 4K restoration of it, and I believe they're also doing Cannibal Ferox as well, but it looks like, I assume because they posted this image with nothing else said, that this is probably going to be their next 4K release, and I'm assuming at some point this year. Obviously, once we have more details, I will cover it. And I wouldn't be surprised, even with some of their upcoming releases, if they're going to go the same model as far as having it initially available only on their website and then a retail version kind of coming out like several months down the line. So anyway, but obviously we'll find out. And then one thing real quick, which I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, there's an update on Freaked, the Alex Winter film. Let's see, from Draft House Films and Umbrella Entertainment. They are going to be putting out the movie Freaked in 4K. With it's gonna be on digital. I assume it's probably do like a limited theatrical run through Draft House, but Umbrella Entertainment is actually going to be releasing the actual physical media, the disc version. So that's good, because I'm I wouldn't be too happy if it's like digital only, but luckily it's not. We will be getting a disc version. Obviously, no details yet, but it should be out later this year. Next up, we have a couple things from Kino. So first up, an announcement. They're doing something along with Dark Force Entertainment. They're actually releasing a 4K release of the movie Silent Scream from 1979, set for July 8th. And there will be two releases of it, a 4K release as well, with included Blu-ray, and then also a separate Blu-ray release. And this was put out back in the day by Code Red or Scorpion. Code Red or Scorpion releasing, I don't remember, because I know currently like Dark Force Entertainment has like not all, but I think some of the Code Red / Scorpion films. And they've released the details, so it does have a new 4K transfer from the original 35mm camera negative. It's got two commentary tracks, one with writers Jim and Ken Wheat and actress Rebecca Balding, as well as one with actress Barbara Steele, moderated by film historian David Del Val. Have 5.1 and 2.0 stereo options. And that's on the 4K disc. And then the Blu-ray, which again is included with the 4K, also available separately. Obviously, you have the movie with the 2 commentary tracks, as well as a couple of other stuff, including Scream of Success, 30 Years Later featurette running 40 minutes. And again, a lot of these are older because they're in standard definition, but I'm glad they're on here. The original script featurette, The Wheat Brothers, a look back featurette, interview with actress Rebecca Balding, audio interview with director Denny Harris, plus the theatrical trailer and TV spot and radio spots. So it's kind of cool that some of those older Code Red / Scorpion films are getting re-released these days. Because again, unless you were following those labels, there's a good chance you probably didn't even know most of them ever got released. So I'm glad that a lot of these are sort of finding, not just getting like new releases, but literally like new releases as far as like, 4K releases and all that. Now the next 2 announcements for Kino, that stuff that's coming later this year, don't have details just yet, but oh my god, am I super excited about both of these. So first up, which I'm sure some of you already saw, they are indeed doing a 4K release of Death Wish 3, which, as some of you know, I've been hoping that was going to get a 4K release at some point from someone, and it is indeed in the works. And that is not one I will wait for a sale. As one I will literally buy on day one. And as soon as we have details, I'm going to definitely cover that. And then the next announcement, so this was released in an interview, so it hasn't been like the full official announcement yet, but I mean, it's done an interview by one of the guys who runs Kino. So we are going to be getting eventually new 4K releases of the 3 Ninja films: Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, and Ninja 3 the Domination. And I know some people will be like, well, they've already released those twice on Blu-ray. Yes, but I mean, honestly, I'm excited they're going to be in 4K. No details yet. In fact, I would be surprised if these are more like end of the year, maybe even early next year. I hope not. I kind of want them sooner rather than later. But I'm mostly excited about Revenge of the Ninja. So for those of you who kind of watch my channel long enough, I have mad love for Revenge of the Ninja. It's one of those few films that if I find anything for, I will definitely grab and stuff. And I've actually wanted a 4K release of this one for a very long time. I'm like really excited, especially for that one. So as far as I know, they're actually going to be 2 versions. They're going to do what they did with the Missing in Action films. So there's going to be single releases, but also a set where you can get all 3 in one. So the set, just like that one, you'll have the 3 discs inside in cases. They just won't have slipcovers. You obviously have the outer case is technically the slipcover. Or if you want to get the individual releases, those, at least the first pressing, will have slipcovers for them. So it just kind of depends on what you want. But I am kind of glad that they are giving you the option. So once again, another one, once we have details, I will definitely be covering that. Only a couple things left. Next up is a couple things from Arrow. So I have to give a huge shout out to the YouTube channel Planet CHH, who did an interview with Cliff McMillan, who is with Arrow now, used to be with Shout/Scream Factory. And there were some things that came out, which is very exciting news. So let's see. First off, it does look like they are going to do new releases of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, as well as Texas Chainsaw Massacre the beginning. But again, those are like way off. I don't think there's going to be anytime soon, but I believe they are in the works. Which is cool. I've actually always enjoyed, both of them, actually. So that will be cool. Now they did also in the interview did say that even though they have released the 3 New Line Cinema Jason films, two films with Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, they are not going to be doing Freddy vs. Jason. It looks like it will be included in the Nightmare on Elm Street set that Warner Brothers is releasing later this year, which I kind of figured they would. I kind of figured Warner Brothers were going to hold on to anything Freddy related. But now we do actually have the official word, even though it would have been nice if Arrow could have done it, but still, that's all right. At least we're getting it. And a little bit of sad news, at least for me. I'm a big fan of the House movies, especially the first one. And I was kind of hoping we'd get a 4K release of those films, but unfortunately, not saying we won't, but at least currently, Arrow will not be doing them. So maybe another company can get a hold of them. I know. Is it a German company or something? I don't remember. I know a company has put them out in 4K, but to my knowledge, the masters they're using, even though they are 4K, are very old, and I believe they still have those framing issues, because those films at some point in the mastering process they were framed incorrectly, not like massively, but they're off center. So those 4K releases unfortunately have not been corrected. So hopefully we do get brand new 4K releases from somebody of those films at some point. Speaking of framing releases, and I'm going to get to that next, but I do want to mention that Arrow is looks like they're closing a deal with Sony. So Arrow's actually going to get a hold of a couple of Sony titles, which is good, because there's a lot of them that really, especially like horror films and stuff that Sony probably won't put out themselves, but I'm glad that they're going to be licensing some of this stuff out. Obviously, they already have a deal with, Shout/Scream Factory. But yeah, again, having a deal for other films with Arrow is definitely a good thing. And then finally, they are going to be doing, which we kind of knew, but this is now as close to official until official happens, is we are going to get a 4K release of Creepshow 2, currently slated for possibly December. So it could be obviously the end of the year, because December is the last month. Yeah, leave it to me to point out the obvious. And they are aware of the framing issues that were on the Blu-ray from several years back, and so those will be corrected. Thank goodness. Obviously, we won't get details for many more months, but again, anything that comes up, I will be covering it. And something I believe I forgot to mention in my last video, I don't think I did, or video before, I don't know. I don't believe I mentioned it at all, even though I had it in my notes and I didn't cover it because, but speaking of Creepshow 2, Michael Felcher is doing a brand new documentary about the making of Creepshow 2. Now, you guys may know that his company did the making of the original Creepshow called Just Desserts. It was originally done for the, I think, UK release of Creepshow, and then he was able to put it out here in the States on its own through Synapse, along with a bunch of other extras. So he announced that he is doing the one for Creepshow 2 called Second Helpings, which I think is actually kind of a funny title. Not to say they won't change, but it is. I love that he's doing this. So it's no further details right now. I think he's working on it literally as we speak. Now, it is not going to be included on the Arrow release of Creepshow 2. This is going to be released separately, which I know initially may sound like a bummer, because and again, not sure who will put it out. It wouldn't surprise me if it was Synapse, just like with just the Just Desserts one. But what's nice about that, in my opinion, is the fact that if it's its own release, then I think you can have a lot of the people being interviewed be a little bit more frank about, certain things where they may not be able to use that on sort of an official release. It wouldn't be surprised me if the licensor was just like, yeah, we don't want you kind of talking bad about the film that we're letting you put out. But if he puts the documentary out on his own, then some of that stuff can be left in. And just like with Just Desserts, wouldn't be surprised me if he also puts a bunch of other extras on it as well. So I am very excited about that. About both of them, both Creepshow 2 4K and also this new documentary. So again, once we have details, I'm all over it. And then one final thing I do want to mention is Red Band Releasing, who put out the theatrical run of Dawn of the Dead back in 2022. I think it was 2022. Where they did the theatrical run, where they did the 3D version, and then the year later they did I think they might have done a couple 3D ones, but they also did a 2D version of it in theaters as well. And I'm pretty sure theaters can still book it. I think if you just contact them, you can still book it. But they have announced that they are also going to be doing a theatrical run of Day of the Dead. Now, no further details yet. Now, theaters can contact them to start early booking for it, but yeah, just waiting on further details. I know last I saw they were, I think, printed up a bunch of the posters that they're going to use for promotion. I can't wait to find out where it's going to be showing near me. So, and hopefully it's showing near most of us as well. Now, one more thing about Day of the Dead, which was in, was it the Cliff interview with CHH? I'm blanking on, I believe it was in that interview in regards to Day of the Dead. I don't know what Red Band Releasing is using as far as the theatrical releases go. I mean, it could already be sort of like a 2K DCP that they have that was done like a few years ago. Unfortunately, and I mentioned this before, the original negative for Day of the Dead is missing. Now, it's not believed that it was destroyed or anything. It's unfortunately just kind of misplaced because Day of the Dead was one of those sort of independent productions that the main production company was, I think, sort of bought over a couple times, which is not uncommon. And unfortunately, you know, from one company to another company to another company, a lot of the elements just kind of, on occasion, they get like, unfortunately, like lost forever. But a lot of times they just get kind of moved around so much, and it's just a matter of finding out like which warehouse they're stored in and all that. But it can take some time. So, but currently, as it stands, there is the negative is still missing, sadly. So any chance of a release in the short term is not going to happen as far as a new, 4K release on disc goes. And I believe as far as current rights goes, which obviously this can change at any point, but the nice thing about this is that there are two companies doing the same work at the same time. So in the US, I believe Shout/Scream Factory it still has the US rights, and in the UK, Second Sight, I believe, has the UK rights. And both companies are trying to track down the negative. So hopefully one of them, if not both of them, can definitely track it down. And I'm hoping sometime soon I can, sit here and tell you the good news that negative has been found and we're going to be getting a 4K of Day of the Dead. But until that day, I actually am excited that there is going to be a, theatrical run from Red Band Releasing. So yeah, looking forward to finding out when that's going to be playing and seeing it on the big screen again. I think I see it once before, right? I was in Chicago at one of the movie events I went to. Yeah, I did see it once before. So I can't say again. Anyway, that's it for this video. Obviously, there's a lot of, waiting on information, but there's a lot of good stuff here, I think. So I definitely wanted to sit down and kind of mention it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on all of these. And right now I'm just waiting, details on like all this stuff. So hopefully we don't have to wait too long because I don't wait well. I'm very impatient. So again, let me know your thoughts. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.